Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com.
Integration is very easy. Let's say you want to scale in, scale out kind of thing on your virtual machine. It is like, it is very difficult in case of virtual machine. It is very easy in case of containers, right? By using some of orchestration tool called Docker Swarm and Docker Swarm and Kubernetes. Yep. Container lifecycle. Okay, what is container lifecycle exactly? Okay, here. Let's say you want to start a container. You need to run Docker run command. Your container will be started. It is running. It will be going in running mode. You cannot delete running container. You can't delete that running container. You need to stop that container. Once your container is stopped, again you can start that container. Similarly, if your container is running, you can pause it. Pause means like, containers process will be running, just, it will be stop serving the request at the time in pause state. You can unpause it. Once again, if you want to delete the container, you need to stop it, and then you can delete it by running docker rm command. This was all about its container lifecycle. Docker image and container. Docker images will be like, read-only template used to create container. By using image only, you can create container. Okay. If you're having one image and one container is already created, you can create multiple container by using the same image. It is not like that you created one container with that image and you cannot create another container. It is not like that. One image will help you to create multiple containers. Okay. And Docker will be having a read-only layers in it. We cannot Docker image. We cannot make changes in our Docker images. If you want to do that, just write Docker file and accordingly to that build it. Once your container is created, you will be having a writable layer also will be enabled. You can log in inside the container. You can write configuration there. Okay. Once your container is created, you can convert your container to image. This is the thing that we will be learning in our further sessions, that how we can convert our container to image. Okay, that is not a good idea, not a good practice to convert your container to image. We can do that just for troubleshooting purposes, just to save your container state. That's it. The best practice is to write Docker file and then create Docker images, and then create container by using those Docker images. We will be having a Docker registry with us. On Docker registry, we can store our images. Yep. Docker registry will allow you to host your Docker images on the registry. Free registry available on internet is hub.docker.com. Then what all alternative registries we are having? We are having JFrog Artifactory, we are having Harbor, we are having GitHub. We can use GitHub as Docker registry as well. Okay. So okay guys, I think this is enough for the theoretical part. Now we will be seeing practicals. So you can install Oracle VirtualBox, guys. It is freely available. I hope you are aware of this Oracle VirtualBox. If not, tell me. I'll help you to understand it.
Hey viewers, our Master in DevOps engineering program can help you to hone the skills necessary to succeed in high-level DevOps positions. So what are you waiting for? Enroll now and earn certification that show you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Yeah, you can brief about it.
Okay. So Oracle VirtualBox is a free tool available on internet. Nothing to do. Just, oh my God, take this one. Go to your browser, write Oracle VirtualBox download link. Open this Oracle VirtualBox download link, virtualbox.org. Go there, and if you are using Windows host, let it open. Yeah, if you are using Windows computer like Windows 10 or Windows 7 something, download this one. If you are using Mac OS, so go with this OS X. And the important thing is that you need to make sure that VTX virtualization is enabled from your laptop or your desktop's BIOS. You need to check it out. How we can check it out? Just try to install it. If it is enabled, so your VirtualBox will be installed. If it is not installed, it will tell you to enable your virtualization from BIOS. How we can enable from BIOS? A different kind of brands is available in market for laptop or desktop. So by pressing F2, F12 somehow to enter in BIOS, just go to your BIOS and then you can see some menus there. Enable virtualization or enable VTX. That's it. Enable VTX and save those configuration. Reboot your laptop and come back and continue with this setup. It will be installed. You might not be able to install VirtualBox on your office laptop. It is a good idea to install it on your personal laptop. Okay, guys. Still, like you don't want to do installation on your personal laptop. Some alternatives are available on internet. Let me tell you. What was that? KDS. Right, just play KDS. Play with Kubernetes. It will tell you to log in basically. Log in using GitHub or Docker account. I can log in. Okay, GitHub will ask me something. Okay, start. We are really sorry, but we are out of capacity, cannot create your session at the moment, please try again later. So free thing will be having this kind of error, this kind of problems, like so many people, they already logged in on their website, resources are not available, we can't do anything. So we will be creating our virtual machine back again. I just installed Ubuntu in this virtual machine. Okay, let me tell you one more thing about it. You can download Ubuntu by visiting ubuntu.com. Ubuntu.com. Accept all. Okay. Go to download section. Here you will be seeing Ubuntu server. Get Ubuntu server. Click on this button. And option number 2, multi-server and manual server installation. Go there. It will tell you download Ubuntu server 20.04.3 LTS. Always install LTS versions only. Okay. What is this LTS version? Is long-term support, because Ubuntu is having non-LTS versions as well. They are researching something like new feature they are adding with non-LTS version, and non-LTS version might be discontinued anytime. Now why to struggle? You might be seeing errors there, so it's better to go with LTS version. Just click on it. Your installation, your ISO will be started downloading at that time. Where it is downloading? Yes, not found. My goodness.
Hey viewers, trying to get into DevSecOps? Enroll for our DevSecOps certified professional programs and earn the certification that shows you are fit for these technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Click on it again and let's see. Thank you for your download. Wait for some time. Okay, no worries. Click on again on Ubuntu. Here, download now button. See, here is saying not found, but your download is started. You will be getting ISO, Ubuntu ISO. I'm just canceling it. I'm already having this one. Okay, so do you know installation, or should I tell you about installation as well? Yeah, guys, Ubuntu installation. Should I tell you on Ubuntu installation?
Yes, a little bit about it. I don't know about it.
Okay, so see here, download your Oracle VirtualBox. You will be seeing the screen like this. Here you will be having new button. Click on new button. Right here, Ubuntu, whatever version is 20.04 something, and Vox School. I'm just giving it name like that, and I'm allocating 2 GB of RAM to this VM. Create hard drive. choose VDI, go with dynamically allocated. Here, just make it 20 GB. 20 GB is enough. Create new virtual machine. It is created here. Now, just I'm adding more CPUs to this virtual machine so that it can perform faster. Once one CPU is allocated to this, I will be allocating 3 CPUs on this VM so that it will work fast. 3 CPUs added now. Double click on this virtual machine. It will ask you to add ISO. See here, once your ISO is downloaded on the system, it will be downloading on your download thing somewhere. Here, download folder. Okay, click on this button, this folder icon, and choose your ISO. Click on add. Once you are going to add button, it will tell you where your ISO is. This is my live server, this one. Okay, it is already added here, so I will be choosing it from here itself. 20.04 live server version. Choose start. It will be booting from that ISO. It will take few minutes on my system. It is just working on it. It will take some time. Yep. Here, choose your language. Which is your language? French. I speak English only. English. It's telling your keyboard layout something. Okay, done. Enter key. Okay, this is the green button we are seeing. Just I'm pressing enter key. By default, it is selected. I don't want to make changes here. I don't want to add any proxy here. Mirror is just keep it as it is. Okay, no need to change here. Use entire disk. I don't want to create any partition on all here. It is not required. Press tab key to change these options. Okay, tab, enter. Here it is telling me it will be creating following partitions on your system. Okay, let it create a default thing. Done. And are you sure I want to continue? Definitely, I'm sure about it. Your name, my name is Anish. Server name, I'm just writing server. And password for username, I'm just making one user here with name Anish, and choose password for this. Anish123, Anish123. That's it. Done.
Hey viewers, are you looking for formal training on SRE practices? Take our SRE program. This course will teach you how to successfully implement site reliability engineering in the modern day 24/7 services. Kickstart your SRE training today. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
This is compulsory. Okay, install OpenSSH server. Press spacebar to check it. OpenSSH server. Without this, we cannot access it remotely. Click on done. I don't want to choose anything here in this menu. Micro key, it is on or nothing. Press tab key to go on done. It is done now. Installation is started. Within few minutes, it will done. Before I'm just disconnecting internet from this VM. That's it. Let's wait for another 5 minutes. I can't do anything here at this time. So guys, what kind of task you are handling on Docker containers?
So we have 30,000 plus test cases automated, and what we are doing, like we are running all those automated test suites parallelly using Dockers.
Okay.
Where like we spin containers and automatically memory allocation would happen, and as soon as there would be new build, and then test would start run. And
so are you creating
for this
containers
purpose.
here? Are you creating containers?
Yes, I believe.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So basically, we are using Docker to support parallel executions. Like like as Chandan said, like we are running around 30K tests. So we want the results to be much faster. So that's why we have a container. So like basically we do like we're using two containers. One is for like Selenium, and one is our own where we do our setup,
Okay.
setting up of our code. So that is one, and one is from Docker Hub, that is Selenium. So that is available
Okay.
there. So we are using
So I
that.
think
And one,
you are already familiar with this Docker, right?
yes, pretty
Yeah.
much like we are using combination of Docker along with Kubernetes. So we have
Okay.
some config files for Kubernetes, and we are using that to run our containers.
Okay. Docker is simple only. It is not a very big thing that we need to spend much time on it. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
I restarted this installation because it was failed. I think it is because of I disconnected that internet. That's the reason. Yes, see, it is done now. Installation is done. Reboot now. How fast it is. Failed. Okay. No worries. No need to think about it even. Click on reset button and then it will be starting your VM. Start job is running for wait for network to be configured. What it is. Okay, network is disabled, but it will be starting it. Your operating system will be skipping. One minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. What it is doing? Running very slow. Okay, what can I do is I can enable networking here and restart this VM again. Let's wait. Yeah, luckily I didn't restart it, and as soon as I just enable network, it got started. Right, it started here. Cloud init is doing something. Let it complete. Okay, it's clear now. I can log in here with my username Anish, and my password was Anish123. Just see, I logged in my virtual machine. This is how we can install. We can create our virtual machine. Now I think this is enough for the day. I'm running out of service, out of time actually, not service. Sorry guys. So let's connect tomorrow, and we will be continuing our session where we will be learning how we can access this virtual machine remotely from our host machine by using PuTTY or MobiStrum. How to configure IP addresses in your Ubuntu box, and we will be installing Docker in it, and we'll be doing Docker practicals. Yep guys.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.